All right, folks. So today I'm going to take a little bit of time to share with you an overview of this unit. This is our first of a couple of units that are going to kind of build on one another, kind of like the social media unit did, where you kind of learn one part and then you did the second part. We're going to do that this week and next week with journalism. And so journalism, you'll hear all about it in the unit, but it is a task that some people get entire college degrees related to how to be a journalist. So in a class like this, where we kind of just touch on each topic kind of at a very introductory level, we don't have a ton of time to get in the details of things, but I do think it's important that y'all learn a little bit about it. Good communication starts with good writing, and journalistic writing is the most technical and the most other than like scientific writing, some of the most well-respected forms of writing that there is. And it's really some of the most commonly consumed types of writing. And so you're going to learn about journalism and news writing in this unit. What we're leading up to is you going out and actually interviewing people like a journalist and writing your own story. And so that brings together a lot of different skill sets, including understanding how to write as a journalist, understanding how to conduct interviews, understanding how to format your story in itself. And you can't do that all in 1 week because it's just too much. And so this week, I'm really going to get you kind of the foundation of what journalism is and why it's important, a little bit about the different components that make news writing different than regular types of writing. And then you're going to start your assignment that will show you how to do different parts of the news article and let you practice that a little bit. And then you're going to give me kind of an introduction to your news story that you'll write yourself. So I'm going to walk you through each page of the module. I'm doing this because there's several steps to this, and I want to make sure that you get to hear from me kind of what I'm looking for and explain it all. So just like in all of my assignments, you'll have an introduction. There's a video here that you can watch about journalism. That's really important. There's some objectives. I'll finish those. There looks to be incomplete. Go me. This talks a little bit about news writing. This is on chapter 5 of your textbook. And so page 75 talks about quotes. We'll talk about quotes in the video lecture that you'll watch this week. So you can read about this. There is another page that is a video of me walking you through some of the highlights of the PowerPoint that's associated with chapter 5. This is really important to watch so that you know the types of things I'm looking for in your news article. We will practice writing leads this week. Leads are just like the first paragraph to a news story. You can read about that and why they're important, why it's called a lead. You can even read a story that I wrote back in the day and look at my lead and kind of start to see an actual example of a real news article and one that uses this type of writing. The next page, you have a lead assignment. So you're actually going to practice writing leads. So all of these are topics. There's 10 total. You only have to pick 5, and you will talk about a lead, and your module will explain to you how to write a lead. The example I gave you is an example of a well-written lead. So you'll do this yourself and turn it into this Dropbox. So you can do that. This talks about AP style and gives you a link to the AP style book, which is what you'll learn about also in this module. There's a unit here, a page here about interviewing and what you kind of need to think about for interviews. We've touched on this a little bit, but this is just a refresher. And then here is the important part. So this is the news writing activity, and this is going to outline the entire assignment. So you only have to do half of it this week. This is going to go over the span of 2 weeks, and that's so that you can have time to A, learn about news writing and what you need to do, and B, actually contact your people that you want to interview. Remember, we want to be really professional. So we don't want to wait until Friday when everything is due on a Monday. That's unprofessional. That doesn't make SFA look good. It doesn't make you look good. And so really starting to think about this today is important so that you can do well on this assignment and in this class. This part of the class is worth a lot of points. And so it's important that you really start to dig in and do really, really well on this. So I'm giving you the full meal deal here about like an overview of what we're gonna be doing. Just keep in mind that's only so that you know where we're headed, not so that you think every single thing is due this week. So this week, you're gonna choose your topic. What do you wanna write about? You'll learn about what makes something newsworthy in the lecture, so you'll need to watch that and understand that before you present your idea to me. The deadline for this part of the module is on Thursday of this week. So that's different. Again, everything normally is due on a Monday, but I need time to look at your topic that you choose and all the components in this assignment so that you can be approved, so that you can then go schedule your interviews. So what you're going to do between today and Thursday is you're going to choose a topic. You're going to prepare for your interview. So you need to plan out your questions. That's in the module, how to do those questions. And then you need to send me those ideas. Tell me who you're going to interview, what you're going to ask them, and what your topic's going to be. The Dropbox is right here. It explains it all as well. It'll show you what you need to do. A potential article title, the names and the titles or the roles of the people that you want to interview, and a list of potential questions. I know that those questions may change as you start to actually do the interview, but it's important that I can kind of look at your questions and see, okay, are there other things that they could ask that could help them tell this story a little bit better? So that is all due on Thursday. You should expect to hear from me via D2L pretty quickly after you've submitted this, because I'll look at the assignment in the Dropbox and I'll say approved or not approved. Once you get from me that you've been approved, between then and next week, you'll need to tell me about who you're going to interview. So you're actually going to contact these people. You need to keep track of your emails, or if you call them on the phone, write down what you talked about. Don't text somebody, that's unprofessional. I want you to act like a journalist and be really professional and tell these people what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve. You need to schedule the interview. You're going to turn in the interview setup Dropbox. You're going to turn in to me the actual correspondence that you've given to these people to show me that you have set up the interview. This is to prove that you've done it in a professional way and that you're planning ahead and that you're not telling people that work in the industry and have very busy schedules, oh, hey, I have something due. Can you talk to me real quick? I need to talk to you right away. We don't want to do that to people. So I want you to turn all of that in by the October 4th date. So then we're going to go in here in week 2, you're actually going to conduct your interview, write your story. You're going to turn in the interview transcripts and the notes. So when you're speaking to somebody, you take notes and the answers to your questions. You'll write out all your questions, you'll have notes, and you can type them up. You can do that however you want to do that, but you want to write out the answers to their questions. Those transcripts will help you form your story. So if you're well organized about how you do this and you have a really good transcript, which you will turn in, then you should be able to craft your story around the answers. Then you're also going to write your story, put it on the class blog, so everybody will be able to read what you've created, and it'll include a reflection at the end of your story about your perspective. So this blog will be 2 parts. It'll be your article, your story that you're writing with all your interview information. It's a really nice story like the one I've linked here that I actually wrote. And then after that will be kind of your reflection. This is not an easy thing, guys. So I fully understand that I am pushing you to your limit here. And that's why I want to hear from you, your reflection, because it's hard to go out and talk to people. And it's something that ag communicators have to know how to do. And so hopefully we're taking little baby steps these next 2 weeks to lead you to this really beautiful blog post with your story and your reflection of like where you started today and then where you're going to end up. And you just tell me how it goes for you. Did you struggle with writing the questions? Was it hard to find people to contact? Did you feel like you had fun talking to these people and writing the story? Did you find a creative part of your brain that you didn't know existed? I want to hear all those types of things. So I write here, it's important between the time that I approve your topic and October 11th, you're going to have to conduct the interview, leave yourself time to write the story, and also write a reflection. So the reason there will be absolutely 0 deadline extensions on this is because if you work in a newsroom, we're writing the news, right? The news does not wait. So you don't get to wait either. Your deadline is October 11th for this full thing. Of course, there are assignments I already talked about that'll be due this week and October 4th, but your interview transcripts and your actual blog post with your story and your reflection are all due October 11th. And I am not going to budge on that no matter what. So if you think that you have the tendency to have technology issues, if you have a really busy week next week and you don't think October 11th is like, that's coming really fast. So if you think that your week's going to be really busy, start now. I'm going to get you your approval on your topic really quickly. So make sure that you are planning ahead and have it done a few days in advance so that you're not waiting until the last minute to write your story. Your work will not be quality if that's the case. Keep in mind that the other video in this module talks to you about how to write leads, a little bit about how to write quotes. You'll learn more about writing quotes next week, but there's a learning curve here, guys. So you cannot throw together a bunch of questions and do a bunch of interviews and throw together a really nice story in 2 days. You can't do it. So you've got to be able to give yourself time to learn how to create quotations, how to write leads, how to cover the 5 W's, how to do the inverted pyramid. You'll learn all about that this week, but to actually apply it next week, it's going to take you some time. And so I cannot emphasize enough the importance of being professional and starting today on this project. I think this will be a really great thing for y'all to learn because you don't get this in any of your other ag classes. And so to be able to do this is going to be nice for you to have something, hopefully to put into a portfolio one day that you can take. And a lot of jobs that are in the communication world require writing samples. And so hopefully this will be one of your first writing samples and you'll do a really beautiful job on this. And you'll be able to have something that you'll be proud of to be on the blog for public to see and to maybe even submit with the job one day. So please let me hear from you if you have any questions. If you're confused, I encourage you to read the module carefully and to listen to this video carefully before you email me. Usually all the information is right here in the module. I don't mind y'all contacting me, but I also want y'all to kind of take some personal responsibility to find the information that you need yourself. So with that, let me hear from you if you have any questions and good luck.